Perfect.
Good. Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining this meeting. I hope that today's meeting is going to be quite interesting for you. QWorship is a wonderful application, and by the very special grace of God, is going to be quite groundbreaking in terms of what we want to do for churches, starting now and even into the very far future, obviously until Jesus comes. All right. So QWorship is a church worship presentation software. Beg your pardon. We're here to basically, revolutionize the church worship presentation space. Okay. So, as you can see here, it says changing the phase of worship, a church presentation system built with Bible AI, songs, lyrics, slides, and much more. So basically, I'm just going to show you how to get yourself a demo of Q Worship. Okay. So you click this button here on your right hand side that says sign up. Hope you can see it. All right. And then basically what you do is you put in your details. Now it's going to ask you to put in a whole bunch of details like the name of your church, your email address, obviously your password. You're going to create a password for yourself, etc. So you put in all these details. Once you're done, it's going to get you to a page like this where you now have the options to either create a new project or to open an existing project. Now I'm going to create a new project for the sake of this exercise, and I'm just going to call it EG example um example project. Okay, so I've just created a project. Now this is the dashboard.
But
This
please,
is what you're gonna
please, can you be checking that people can hear you because of the internet issue, please?
I can hear
don't
Yeah,
don't
you.
pass this
I
out
can
pass
we
this
can
hear
hear
out
you.
you.
pass this out. Don't worry, I'm recording this meeting, so
Oh,
even if they
perfect,
can't hear me,
perfect,
I'll be able
perfect,
to get them the recording. Yeah.
perfect.
Alrighty, so this is the dashboard. This is what you're going to see on your screen whilst you're using Q Worship. And just to give you a basic idea of what you see on your screen in the, very simple layout. At the top here, you can see where it says project, insert item, assets, songbook, settings, guide, help, etc. So basically this top panel is what be able to use for some of the really important buttons you're going to find here at the top. And then on your side, at the left side, on the left side is where you have your items. It's where you have your service sections. All right, so you have your pre-service section, your warm-up section, service items, post-service loop. Now, what Q Worship has done, what we've done, is that we've divided a typical church service into the kinds of sections we assume churches would have. Obviously, no churches are the same. Different churches would have different sections of their service. So probably at the start of the service, you may have a loop, a video loop. Maybe it's kind of like a church advert that is playing at the start of the service, and then probably the main section would be where the pastor is now preaching. I think that might be something quite universal amongst many churches. And then at the end, you have a post-service loop, whatever however churches decide to organize their services. So what Q Worship has done here is that we've given people as much freedom as possible to be able to add in whichever section of the service they like. Really, it's entirely up to you. Okay, so how does this work? To insert, for example, a song, you would have to click on the section that you want to insert it into. So for example, I want to insert a pre-service items. I'll then click on it, and then you can see this here that says selected. Then you go to insert item, and then you insert these items here. Okay, so you have song, hands-free Bible, on-screen Bible, announcement, slide canvas, video, image, web page, import item. You could even import a PowerPoint presentation if you want, media files, song databases, etc. So you have that option here. So I just want to use import a song as an example. So I'll click on song and then type the name of the song that I want to import into my slides. So maybe something like "You Are Alpha and Omega." All right, and then browse songs, search songs, and here it is. It says search results one found. So I want to click on this. Okay, so it says click to load, And then suddenly I have my song here at the bottom of my screen. You can see the slide right here. So I can now edit the presentation. I can edit the song. I can edit the lyrics if I want to. I can do all of that here if I really need to do that. I can show the author's name on the screen if I want to. I don't have to, so I have the option here to edit the presentation, to my liking. Now, when I want to go live, as in I want to now project this song onto the big screen in church, what would I do? I would click on this button here on my top right that says go live. Go live. I'll click on this button. Okay, so click. All right, and now we're live. All right, so this is what the congregation is going to see. As you can see, it says you are Alpha and Omega. Verse 1, you are Alpha and Omega. We worship you, O Lord. You are worthy to be praised. Okay. All right, I just need to make a very quick adjustment to the recording so that they can also see display capture. One moment. Okay. All right, so that they can also see the in the recording. Okay, so this is it. We have the song on the projector, okay, or on the TV, whatever it is that you're projecting to. Now, you may want to ask some questions about, how to change the background. It's looking quite dull at the moment, which is fine. So you can click on where it says background. So you can see it says customize presentation background. You click on that, and then you now have a whole bunch of options. You can change the color of the background. Maybe I want to change the color to orange, and then I click on orange and then go apply background. So now the background is changed. Or if I want to use an image, a picture, I can choose file. Okay, click on choose file, and then it's going to open up your folders section. So let's say I go here. I want to look for a very specific background. I'll go to QWorship. Yes, there we go. QWorship backgrounds, and then I'll look for a background that I like. Upload, and then once I've clicked upload, I go to apply background, and now we've changed it. All right, so the background is now changed. So I think this looks quite nice. You can also use a video as well if you want to, but for the sake of time, basically it's the exact same process as uploading an image to QWorship. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of customization that you can really do here. Now, let's say I want to change the size of the font. Then there's this button here right next to where it says background that now gives me access to slide settings, customization, and display settings. So I can change the transparency. Okay, so you can see that faded black box that the writing is in. I can remove it by just simply clicking this button and unclicking it, right? I can also change the size of the font from large to extra large. I can change it to 6 times extra large, which is huge, obviously, as you can see. So that's a little bit too big. So let's say 3 extra large. Right, this may be something that you want to use in your church. So this might be an appropriate size of font. All right. And then let's say I want to add the logo. Okay, I want to add the church's logo to the slides. So I'll go to customization, and then I can upload a file. So I can go upload the file. Let's see if I can find the QWorship logo on this computer. I think it's in the downloads. QWorship PNG for... There we go. There it is. Okay, so... Right, so you can see the QWorship down here, very tiny. But that's because the file that I used already was quite small. So let's increase the size. Okay, so it's gotten bigger now, but don't worry. The reason why the logo is quite small is because the PNG that I used, the file size is very small. So that's my fault. If you want to get a bigger logo, then you would simply, export a bigger file size from Photoshop, whatever file you want to use. Really, it's entirely up to you, but you just use a bigger file from Photoshop, and then it will be able to upload a much higher resolution and just a bigger logo for you. Okay, so yeah, these are your customization settings. You can also change the position of the logo. You can change it from bottom right to bottom left, so now you can see it on the left hand side of your screen at the bottom, or you can change it to the top right. You can see it here. Let me go so you can see it here, top right. Okay, You can also change it to the top left if you want. Okay, now it's at the top left. So you have as much customization as you want. You can also put it in the center if you want. I'm not really sure why you would want it in the center, but you also have that option as well. All right. You also have display settings. You can show timestamp. All right. So you can see the timestamp at the bottom left. So basically, it's just going to tell you what time it is. So maybe for the pastor or for the singers during praise and worship, so that they can see the time directly on the screen. So they have that option as well. Okay, so you can change it to 12-hour format or 24-hour format. That's, analog versus digital. It's up to you. All right, so you have the show slide counter as well, where you can show display on the screen which slide it is. So slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, etc. So you have all this customization settings that you can add to your slides. You can even add your social media handles if you have any social media. So obviously you just click on that button, and then it's just going to give you the option to add your social media as well. So here you type in your Facebook handle, let's say QWorship.com. Let's say that's your Facebook handle. Your Instagram handle, let's just put the same thing. Okay, and then you can have it written in white if you want, so you can see it all here at the bottom left of your screen. Okay, bottom left of your screen. So you have all that customization for yourself with your slides. That's for your songs. Now, besides songs, there are also 2 other options here that you can see on your screen. Option here, Q Bible. Option here is just an open Bible. It has a symbol of an open Bible, and basically this Q Bible here is the star of the show. What this is here is the hands-free version of QWorship. It's the version of QWorship that allows you to literally use your voice to pull up the Bible references. So for example, because at the moment the way QWorship works, even though this is something we want to update in the future, the way QWorship works is that you would need to use your voice and mention the Bible reference rather than the quotations. Okay, so a reference would be book, chapter, verse. The quotation would be what that book, chapter, verse is saying. So for example, instead of saying, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son," I would say instead John 3:16. So John 3:16 would be the reference. "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son" would be the quotation. So with Q Bible, you use the reference. So how do you pull up Q Bible? What you do is you click on this button, and immediately you're going to be met with this screen. Basically what it's asking for is your permission to use your microphone. So if you have a USB microphone that you've connected to your computer, ideally you want to use a microphone that has some level of noise suppression in it already. If there isn't, no worries. Just make sure you keep the microphone close to your mouth as possible so that the microphone can pick up your voice, especially if you have an omnidirectional mic. Ideally, you don't want an omnidirectional mic. You want a unidirectional mic, basically meaning that the microphone's range, as in where it picks sound up from, would be just basically pointing towards your mouth. If it's picking sound from everywhere, then obviously there's going to be too much noise interference in the microphone. So you would want to use a microphone that is unidirectional, and then obviously you're going to basically speak your references into the microphone, and it's going to be picked up here by QWorship. Now, I would click allow, but if I clicked allow, then you on Google Meet would not be able to hear me anymore, and that's just going to create too much of a hiccup here in this meeting. However, I will send you a video from YouTube that will show you exactly how this QWorship hands-free Bible works. All right, so once you've watched that video on YouTube, I've done a demonstration video or demonstrational video on YouTube, and you're able to watch that video on YouTube, and it's going to show you how to use the microphone very well. So this is the star of the show. You can pull up your Bible verses just by using your voice. Now, what we're also working on as well is that we're figuring out a way for pastors to by themselves pull up their verses, by mentioning the references, of course. But it does mean, in a sense, that we may need to have a piece of hardware created for this, because what we're looking forward to doing is connecting church's mixer to your computer, and then in so doing, you are now able to use the sound coming from your mixer as your audio input to now, power up QWorship, which is a really cool thing to do. We found a way to do it, and at the moment it's by using a sound card, but we still need to do a lot more experience, a way more experiment, sorry, to make sure that this thing actually works the way it's supposed to work. So at the moment it seems like it's working. By using a sound card, basically you connect your mixer to a sound card and then sound card to your computer. And then obviously this QWorship is able to pick up the channel that is coming from the pastor's microphone. So that's what we're working on at the moment. But we're doing more experiments to see how that works, because.
Let me come in there as well. We
Yes, sir.
also have QWorship mic.
Yes.
So with QWorship mic, you don't even need any all this sound card of a thing. Just give the command, and the thing will just project whatever you said on the screen.
That's right.
And currently as well, Winners Chapel's headquarters, they've tested this. And that's exactly what Casey was trying to explain. So what the guy did was to use their normal microphone, your normal pastor's microphone, and then get a sound card and plug that into your mixer. So when the pastor is preaching, then the system will project whatever he says. I mean, in terms of Bible references on the screen. Now, like what Casey said, we considered African market, and we discovered that people do have problem with internet. So as we speak, we are building the offline version of QWorship, whereby you can still use QWorship without internet. And also, we are building the mic-less version of QWorship, where your pastor will just use their normal mic. Now, there's something that we've embedded into that microphone called NLP, so a natural language processor. So how we build QWorship in such a way that the more you use QWorship, the more the system get used to your accent. So anybody can use QWorship, whether you're Asian, black, white, you can use QWorship without having to use our own mic. You can just use a normal church mic, and then in fact, a church used this in Abba without even the what do you call it, the sound card. The pastor was just using their normal microphone, and it was coming up. Like what Casey said. Initially, when we did our testing, we are using noise suppression lapel mic. But I think once the microphone is ready, they're working on it now, and then the micless part of it is ready. I don't think there'll be a need for the sound card, but everything should be. We'll get to know that by the end of the month. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So that's the star of the show, the hands-free Bible. Now I want to show you how to use the on-screen Bible if you wish. Okay, so here's the on-screen Bible. Once again, you're on you go to your go live screen. Okay, and then you click on this button here. All right, this button here looks like an open Bible. You click on this button, and then now you have your on-screen Bible. You can type in whatever references you want to type in. Genesis 2 verse 5 if you want. All right, so it searches it up, and then you go project this verse, so you can do that, stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Okay,
Just 1 minute.
yes,
Can you
sir.
show how you can move from NJV and JKV? Because I saw that on top there. You just click on, when you projected the script here, you just click on that, it changes automatically.
Yes, so you
Okay.
can change the version very
Perfect.
quickly. Yeah, that's it. And then you can clear the projection so that there's nothing being projected. It goes back to the default. All right. And yeah, that's it for the presentation so far. Like I said, we have QWorship basically being quite open for everyone to use at the moment. So I encourage everyone here listening to go ahead and explore QWorship for yourself. Check out
Let
its
me
functionalities and what it's able to do. Like I said, there's a YouTube channel that we have, and this YouTube channel, you'll be able to see demonstration videos. Now, please, on the YouTube channel, just for the sake of engagement, do like the videos and also make comments as well. If there is something about QWorship that you want to learn that we haven't made a demonstration video for, go ahead and comment about it, and then we will make the video for you and then post it on YouTube. Now, like I said, this is for the sake of engagement. We want to get the YouTube algorithm recognizing our channel so that, as they recognize our channel, they begin to spread it even more for us as well, so that more people can get to know about QWorship. So I will definitely be making more demonstration videos for you, but please, if there's anything we haven't yet demonstrated, go ahead and comment about it, and then we'll do some more demonstrational videos for you as well.